All right, guys, this is the profile replacement technique, digital art technique that I'm going to be showing you right now. We're going to produce something similar to this. So first, I'm going to go back home, head down to Create New. We're in Pixlr E right now. And I'm going to leave it on Full HD and click on Create. All right. Now, for this one, you're actually going to need to take a picture. Okay. And a couple of suggestions I have for you when taking your picture. Number one, here's my model here, a couple examples. Choose a space that has not a lot of background if you can help it. Any of this stuff is going to distract from our final image. The other thing you need to make sure you have is the right amount of light behind your subject. So there's actually, this is in our basement, there's actually a little window back here behind her head, and that's why it's making her kind of silhouetted. Now, I did adjust some of the options on my camera when I was taking this. And I made the whole thing a bit darker. I turned the exposure down. And this is a much better example. Now, we tried doing this with a flashlight, but it got a little too dark. This was completely without light in the room and a flashlight shining from behind. So we're missing some of the details here. So it's key that you take a picture that keeps the details of the outer edge of the silhouette and also kind of hides the background stuff. All right, so I'm going to bring that picture into Pixlr. Click on plus, click on image, find it, click on open, and it will load up here in just a second. All right, I want to zoom out and make sure this fits in our frame. Okay. And now the first thing I'm going to do, just like the example that we saw a second ago, is get rid of some of this background. So I'm going to add a empty layer. And I'm going to grab just my paintbrush tool, the draw tool. Let's set it on black. Okay, and my brush size, I want to make it as big as it'll go. I want to make it as soft as it'll go because we want to make a nice effect where it's kind of fading in and we see the edge of the face. Okay, so I'm going to test that out. Let's see. Get a little bit closer here, and I'm just going to do my best to keep all the details of the face and get rid of the rest of the stuff around the outside. Okay. Now, like I said, my picture has a few too many things behind it. So I hope that when you take your picture, you'll learn from my mistake and get rid of some of that stuff. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to fill in the rest of this. I will end up cropping this out in a second anyway. And there we go. This is a pretty good start. Now, it did take some time to take the picture, get the lighting right. So that's going to take you probably more time than any of the other options to get this set up. Now what you have to do is find something to put inside that head and make sure you find a nice quality image to go with your photograph here to put back there. I'll show you what I found. Click on the plus, click on image. This is a picture I found online. We downloaded. Yeah. Open here. We've got this really cool picture of, I don't know, creepy path at night. Now this layer we want to be all the way on the bottom below our photograph. So I'm going to drag it down under here and we're not going to see it for just a second. Now I'm going to go to my photograph layer and I'm going to go to the cutout tool right here. Okay, this time we're going to be using the draw mask or the paintbrush option. And we're going to set this very similar to when we were painting with black. We want the size to be bigger, not quite as big, but we want the softness to be all the way up. We're going to keep it on remove from mask, and now we're just going to paint this part right here. You'll see it be red. And anything that we paint in there, I'm just going to click around, is going to take parts of that away. Okay. Very cool. All right, if we make a mistake, we can always go back to add mask and put some of that back in if we lose any of those edges around the face. Okay, now after you've done this, we can go back to that cool picture layer and we can move it around. If I could select the right layer, this one right here. Oh, see, I'm missing one of my options now. If that happens to you, I'm trying to move this back layer here, but it's moving my drawing layer. Make sure you have the tool settings here set to not auto select layer. This way I'll be able to move this one without moving any of the other ones. So I can get this set up in exactly the right spot I want. And that's pretty much a wrap. Last thing I'm going to do is crop it, get rid of the extra stuff around the outside that I do not need. Hit enter when you're done. And there we go. One profile replacement ready to go. All right, good luck with yours. I can't wait to see what you do.